Hey Chicago, I've got 3 bombs that are about to blow up in your face right now. First, one of our defensive backs just got robbed of a Pro Bowl spot. Led the league in something huge. And still got completely snubbed. Even rival fans are pissed. Second, in just hours we faced the biggest game of the year against a team that's been steamrolling everyone. And I'm breaking down the exact matchups that'll decide whether we clinch the division or if things get messy. And third, the controversy that's splitting the internet over one of our pass rushers. And a hit that knocked a rival quarterback out. Was it dirty or just football? The answer's gonna shock you. Stick around to the end because every second matters. Smash that like button now and subscribe because this is red hot. First story, Nahshon Wright, the biggest Pro Bowl snub. Let me start with something that's got me heated, absolutely heated. On Tuesday, the 2026 Pro Bowl rosters dropped, and I was sitting there, waiting to see Nahshon Wright's name among the cornerbacks, and guess what happened? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. This dude, who leads the entire NFL in takeaways, who's been a nightmare for every quarterback he's faced, who's turned loose balls into points for Chicago, got completely ignored. Let me ask you this. How is it even possible that a player with 8 takeaways isn't in the Pro Bowl, 5 picks, 3 fumble recoveries to force fumbles? I'm telling you right now, it's a disgrace. It's not just disrespectful to Wright, it's a slap in the face to this whole organization that's fought its way to 11-4. And you know what's even crazier? Even our division rivals fans are saying Wright deserved to be in. When your enemies are giving you props, that tells you everything you need to know. But here's the thing that blows my mind. Nahshon Wright wasn't even a household name a year ago. This guy got cut by the Vikings. Cut. He was a 3rd-round pick who looked like he was going nowhere, and now he's leading the league in takeaways. That's one of the best redemption stories in the entire NFL this season. And Wright's response to the snub? Perfect. He went on social media and posted a photo of his ball collection. Each one of those balls represents a takeaway. Each one is a game-changing moment for the Bears. Some of them are game balls handed to him by Coach Ben Johnson after big wins. Let me ask you again, do you need more proof than that? The man has physical evidence of why he belongs in the Pro Bowl. It's not just stats on a sheet. These are real footballs he ripped out of opponents' hands in clutch moments. I'm telling you, the Pro Bowl voters made a massive mistake. Because Wright hasn't just put up numbers, he's flipped games. He's shifted momentum. He's given our offense chances that didn't exist. How many of those takeaways turned into points? How many completely changed the outcome of a game? And here's the part that gets me hyped. Wright still has a shot to get in as an alternate. If one of the selected corners drops out, Wright could slide in. It's not the same as being voted in, but it's something. It's recognition. But you know what? I think Wright's got something way bigger on his mind than the Pro Bowl. We've locked in a playoff spot. We've got a real shot to do something special in January and February, and if Wright keeps balling like he has all season, that Pro Bowl snub is going to be the least of anyone's concerns. Because at the end of the day, what would you rather have? A trip to Orlando for the Pro Bowl or a Super Bowl ring? I think the answer's obvious, and I think Wright knows it too. This guy has been one of the best comeback stories in the league this year, from being cut to leading the league in takeaways. From being a nobody to someone quarterbacks have to account for on every snap. That's special. Folks, that's what makes this game great. And to all the Pro Bowl voters who left Wright off the list, you're gonna have to live with that, because when Wright's holding up the Lombardi Trophy in February, everyone's gonna remember that you didn't think he was good enough for the Pro Bowl. Second story, the showdown. Bears vs. for 9 ERS. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. The biggest game of our regular season is just hours away. Chicago Bears vs. San Francisco. For 9 ERS, and this ain't just another game. This is for everything. We win this game, we clinch the NFC North. We put ourselves in position to fight for the #1 seed in the entire conference. We lose. Things get real messy heading into the final week, and the for 9 ERS, they're in the same boat. If they win this one and the next against Seattle, they get the #1 seed, so don't come at me saying this is just a regular season game. This is playoff football before the playoffs even start. Let me ask you, are you ready for this? Because I'm telling you right now, the 49ers are hot. 5 straight wins, averaging 34.2 points per game during that stretch. Brock Purdy is playing like an MVP. Christian McCaffrey is basically unstoppable. And Kyle Shanahan is doing what he does best, shredding defenses. But here's the thing we're hot to. We just beat the Packers in overtime at Lambeau. Caleb Williams is playing the best football of his young career. Our defense is forcing turnovers like it's their job, because it literally is. Let's talk about the key matchups that are gonna decide this game. Because this isn't just Bears versus 49ers. It's a bunch of one-on-one battles that'll determine who comes out on top. First up, Kevin Byard and Nahshon Wright versus the 49ers passing attack. Byard leads the league with 6 picks, Wright has 5. Together, they've been a nightmare for quarterbacks, and now they've got to deal with Purdy, who just threw 5 touchdowns in his last game and has a 9-to-1 TD to int ratio over his last 3 wins. We need at least TWO takeaways from these guys, at least 2, because if we let Purdy get comfortable in the pocket, if we let McCaffrey do whatever he wants, we're in serious trouble. Speaking of McCaffrey, this dude is a major problem. Over 1,000 rushing yards, 92 catches. He leads the 49ers in both rushing and receiving. He's basically a wide receiver who can also run the ball, and TJ Edwards is going to have to cover him when he comes out of the backfield. Can you imagine that matchup? Edwards is one of our best linebackers, ranked 7th among all linebackers by PFF. But McCaffrey is the best receiving back in the league. He's had between 6 and 10 catches in each of his last 7 games. That's next level consistency, but it's not all bad news. There's a chance, and I emphasize chance, that George Kittle doesn't play. He hurt his ankle Monday night against Indy. His status is up in the air. And I'm telling you, if Kittle's out, that's a huge break for us, because Kittle is one of the most dominant tight ends in the league. He's a nightmare for any safety or linebacker. And as much as I love Jaquan Brisker, he's struggled in coverage this year according to PFF. But here's the reality. The 49ers haven't let injuries slow them down. They lost Fred Warner for the season. They lost Nick Bosa to an ACL, and they're still winning, still dominating, because they've got a system. They've got a coach in Shanahan who's one of the best to ever do it. Shanahan was the first to truly blend the run and pass game in a way everyone's now trying to copy. He's an offensive genius, and we've got to be ready for everything he throws at us. On offense, Caleb Williams has to be perfect. No early game mistakes. He's got to find DJ Moore, connect with Colston Loveland, use his legs when needed, and most importantly, protect the ball. 7 fumbles this season is too many. Speaking of Moore, this guy just made the biggest catch of his career, that 46-yard overtime touchdown against the Packers. That was clutch. That was the kind of play that defines careers, defines seasons. Moore leads the Bears with 48 catches for 664 yards and 6 touchdowns. And with Rome Odunze possibly out, Moore's gonna have to step up again. But here's where I think we win this game, the run game. D'Andre Swift and Kyle Monange, these two have been lights out all season. We're ranked 2nd in the entire NFL in rushing yards, only behind Buffalo. We're averaging 152.1 yards per game on the ground, and the 49ers, they're ranked 18th in rushing yards allowed. Their defense is banged up. They're tired. If we can establish the run early, control the clock, keep Purdy and McCaffrey on the sideline, that's the key. Can you picture Swift and Monange tearing up that 49ers defense? Because I can. Swift is 7 yards away from 1,000. Monange has been a breakout rookie. Together, they can dominate. Austin Booker versus Trent Williams is gonna be wild. Williams is an all-pro tackle, a 15-year vet playing like he's 27. But Booker just had 7 tackles last week with half a sack. This is the kind of matchup that defines great players. And Ozzie Trapilo versus Bryce Huff. Trapilo's a rookie who's been playing outstanding, only to sacks allowed all year, both to Myles Garrett. Huff has 4 sacks in his last 7 games. That's gonna be a battle. This game is huge. I can't stress that enough. This isn't just about the division. This is about making a statement that Chicago is back, that we're legit contenders, that this isn't some fluke season, it's a season of dominance. Third story, the Austin Booker controversy. Now we gotta talk about the controversy, because we can't ignore the elephant in the room. Austin Booker's hit on Jordan Love that knocked the Packers quarterback out with a concussion. First off, let me be clear. Nobody wants to see a player get hurt. Nobody. Doesn't matter if it's a Packer. Doesn't matter if it's our biggest rival. Injuries are part of the game, but they're never something to celebrate. That said, we need to break down what really happened, because a lot of people out there are saying Booker played dirty, that it was intentional, that he should be suspended, and I'm telling you they're wrong. Booker spoke to the Chicago Tribune about the play, and his response was perfect. I'm just playing football. Making a tackle. He lowered his head, and these things happen in football. And he's right, was it? Flagged. Yeah. Was it roughing the passer? Yeah, because it ended in a concussion. But was it intentional? Was it dirty? I'm telling you, nitrogen monoxide. Ben Johnson explained it perfectly. He said it was a bang-bang play, something that happens so fast it's almost impossible to avoid. We talk about how in these big games you can get a little emotional because it's a division rival and you want to make an impact. We don't want to shy away from that. We want to play aggressive. And we want to be a very physical team, and that's the key. We want to be physical. We want to be a team that hits hard. Because that's how you win championships, not with soft plays, not by being nice. You win by being dominant. Johnson admitted it was 100% a flag because it resulted in a concussion. But he also said hurting an opponent is not what anyone wants, and that's exactly right. Let me ask you, have you seen how fast these players move? How quickly a play develops at the line of scrimmage? Booker has fractions of a second to decide how to make that tackle. Love lowers his head at the last second, and boom, helmet-to-helmet contact. Is it unfortunate? Absolutely. Is it part of the game? Also absolutely, and you know what else? Former Bears players have come out defending Booker, Olin Kreutz, Henry Melton, guys who lived in the trenches. Who know what it's like at that level. They all said it was a normal football play. Not dirty. When Booker was asked if he was worried about a possible fine from the league, his answer was perfect. If they want to, they can. We're just playing football. Whatever happens, happens. I pray for him, but he's out there on the field just like the rest of us. Injuries happen every day. Football is football. I think that's the right attitude. He's not celebrating the injury. He's acknowledging that it's part of the sport. And he's saying he's going to keep playing with the same intensity, the same aggression, because that's what makes this team great. And here's the reality. That injury changed the game. Love went out, Malik Willis came in, and while Willis had some moments, it's not the same as having your starting QB. Did it give us an edge? Probably. But not because Booker was trying to hurt someone. It's because he was doing his job. Booker's in his second season. He's got 3.5 sacks this year. Had 7 tackles last week with half a sack and a pressure. This is a player who's growing, who's becoming a key piece of our defense, and now he's got to face Trent Williams this weekend. An all-pro tackle. One of the best to ever do it. This is a huge test for Booker. It's gonna show what he's really made of. Let me ask you, do you think Booker's gonna back down after this controversy? Do you think he's gonna play softer because some Packers fans are mad? I'm telling you, nitrogen monoxide. This guy's gonna come out and play harder. He's gonna show he's not rattled, not fazed by the noise, because at the end of the day, this is the NFL. This is the highest level of football, and if you can't handle the physicality, if you can't handle the intensity, then you're in the wrong sport. Love's injury was unfortunate, but it was part of the game, and Booker's got nothing to apologize for. So there you have it. Folks, 3 massive stories shaping this week for the Chicago Bears. Nahshon Wright getting snubbed from the Pro Bowl. Despite leading the league in takeaways, it's a disgrace. But he's got bigger goals, a championship, the showdown with the 49ers that could clinch the division and put us on track for the #1 seed. This is the biggest game of our season. And the Austin Booker controversy that's got the whole NFL talking, but at the end of the day, it was just a football play. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Wright will eventually get into the Pro Bowl as an alternate, or will he be too busy prepping for the Super Bowl? Do you think we can beat the 49ers in San Francisco and clinch this division? Or is it going to be too much? And do you think Booker should be fined for that hit on Love? Or was it just football? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear all your takes. I want debate. I want passion, because that's what makes this community great. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Because tomorrow we've got more breaking news. We've got game analysis for the 49ers matchup. We've got everything you need to know about the Chicago Bears. This channel is your home for all things Bears. We're a family here, and families stick together. So join us. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications and be part of something special. Because I promise you this, what's coming for the Chicago Bears is historic. And you don't want to miss it. From Chicago, with all the love for this team and this city, I'll see you in the next video. Bear down.